Hey everybody, I'm Rob, and this is, can't really see it right now, this is my Lotus Esprit. I was gonna turn the flash on, but I guess it's not so easy through YouTube. It made around 400 horsepower on its last run with low boost and RPM limit. We have the lightest spring in there right now, and what else? It's not ready yet. I didn't have my dash app booted up, and as you can see, there's only one oil line on the oil cooler, and on startup it's nighttime. This blew off. I don't think I had my engine protection set up right, and we seized an oil pump only. There are 2 pistons out of it right now. This is why I advise synthetic oil, because these bearings have survived 2 major failures. And if you look at them, they still have the Teflon coating on them mostly. There's a little bit of wear in there. So the subject of this video is going to be realistic tuning. There's several factors. One of the major things is if you're running a street car, the law. Now, as you can see, I have an authentic Lotus Esprit head. This is the turbo, 910 turbo motor. And you can see quite a bit of black on the chambers here. So I haven't cleaned it up yet. And here's my, I got 2 smacked valves because the timing belt, of course, jumped as soon as this seized up. But you notice I have a very nice multi-layer steel gasket. I have very nice H-connecting rods to stock pistons, but I have tapered pins in there. These are Top Fuel ready pins, because that is a cheap way to cut the weight. The rods, I had no choice because they were a kilo, so we don't want that. We really don't want a kilogram each of connecting rod flying around. I actually, between just balancing the crankshaft, getting it coated, and drilling the pistons, and doing the pins, and balancing the rods, I cut 6 kilo. Oh wait, and getting the flywheel balanced. I cut 6 kilo off of the crank, which is ridiculous. Wherever you can balance the motor, you should. And this is balanced to a tolerance of 0.003 of a gram. Everything in the assembly, or less. I forget. These are heavy-duty ARP head studs, because the stock studs are not reusable, and I knew I'd be tearing this motor down a lot. Because the goal is about 700 horsepower. I can't do that with a lower right now. So I will be going for a goal of just 500, and already we're around 400 horsepower. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about how I made this power, because sure, simple. You put in one of these neat Haltech things, and you open the head passages. You give yourself a bigger plenum, and you put some big injectors in, and you put a big fucking turbo on there, and you crank the shit out of the boost. Yeah, of course, we can make fucking shitloads of power, right? Until something blows up, like a gasket. Stock gasket over here is a piece of shit, so I designed my own one. That's my design back there, made by a fella at Gaskets to Go. This piece of shit will blow right out the side. Fucking no good. Then your car ends up like mine on a fucking lift, and you wasted your investment. And that's what I really want to talk to you about race tuning tonight. So I think I'm going to start doing these every time I can't sleep. Alright, so what we have right here is a fucking V-band amazing 3-inch exhaust system into a race car fucking Super Formula pipe. Now, Why do we have a Super Formula exhaust on there? Well, quite frankly, it's a open pipe, and this is a turbo car, and it's 3 inch because the outlet's 3 inch. 4 inch is heavy unless you're doing titanium. So we stick with 3 inch because it's a short exhaust. It just wraps around, and it's pretty simple. It is Inconel at the ends, mind you. That is just because I got the Inconel very cheap. Uh, let's talk about this turbo. Everybody's fucking shocked, actually, about the performance of my turbocharger because it starts to pick up. I make 4 psi of boost at 2100 RPM, and as you can see, this turbo's fucking gigantic. My engine's like a Japanese penis, so careful now. No? Yes? Okay. So we won't be putting that back on because I don't want to smash those. What is that? That is a fucking billet compressor wheel. If we spin this, we see it's ball bearing. Great. Well, fucking amazing tile wastegate and then some piece of shit work in progress here. And you might be saying, oh, that's not spinning very well for ball bearing. It's cold outside. You know, welcome to fucking Japan. Anyways, okay, that's not a strike. It's just shit on the turbo. This is Chinese, and it's not a Garrett copy, but it is. It's from Murtaugh Turbos. This was $500 US, and this fucking turbo spool's great. It starts at 2100, and it's got a .87 AR fucking rear housing, which is huge. The only thing bigger is like a 1 point, right? This is fucking great because this will make 700 horsepower, no fucking problem, no questions asked, without putting out laser beam hot air. And I want to talk to you about that. I have the stock piece of shit upstairs. I have a broken SARD turbo my buddy gave me to rebuild. It fucking cost me like $100 to rebuild it, but I chose not to. I chose to go with this Chinese piece of shit, which is not at all a piece of shit. I don't trust anything from China. I completely disassembled it. I've said this many, many fucking times, but people don't seem to understand that you can get a decent quality turbocharger from China because they use a Garrett supercore, and that's why the turbo costs so much. Is they're taking a broken GTX-R and they are rebuilding it with their own shit. Of course, my battery's running down. Anyways, so this turbo is like a super duper rebuild, but it's new. And that's what we do. And then if this blows, it's a cheap piece of shit, right? I didn't spend $1,000 on a fucking core with no fucking exhaust housing piece of shit that I can't use. Have to spend another $500 fucking dollars. Garrett can suck themselves. And anybody who thinks that these turbos are bad because they're Chinese, better take a fucking look at Mamba Tech, who didn't reply after my third email. They must have not understood that I was a customer who wanted to spread their name. Dumb motherfucker. How many people with supercars are fucking bolting piece of shit China turbos on? Nobody. Alright, and then this is from Gaskets to Go. Fucking, I love John because he got this fucker back to me very quick. I don't like John's fucking spray paint on there, but this fucking gasket will hold as much power as this motor can break without blowing itself in half. And it was like $300 fucking dollars. You can't beat that shit. These are no-name rods from a fellow called Gary Kemp. He can suck me because he took forever to reply on his emails. And, well, they're no-name fucking rods. It ended up being like $900. And by then you can contact JE and have a full set of pistons and rods. So, don't do that shit. Make sure you keep track of that shit. And also, Trend Perform made the piston pins. Fuck them too. They're fucking Diamond Racing fucking pins. I think Trend makes them for Diamond Racing, whatever. That whole group can suck my dick because, and this is like a Pontiac pin that they shortened. Is they were having such a fucking conundrum over shortening them because, hey, I was only ordering 4 fucking pins. It's not profitable. Yeah, right. It takes 10 seconds for them to lop them off. And then I had to pay extra money to have them tapered, in-house. And they didn't know if they could fucking taper it or not. This head finish is really nice. So, things to spend your fucking money on and to not fucking skimp out on. This head is surfaced immaculately by a really reputable company that I don't recommend called Naprec Performance. I think it's formerly known as Nagoya Machine, owned by Nagoya-san and based out of Tokyo. They did a shit cut on my valves. I'm not going to take one out right now, but it's got a fucking minivan cut on it, destroying my beautiful fucking port work, which is another thing you need to waste your fucking time on. See these ports? These are a true fucking performance port. They are smooth as shit, they're wide, and they are fucking symmetrical, which is very important, and they start at the same width at the end. Usually you want them bigger on this side and smaller near the valve, but they have no throat in them either. They are smooth blend, going to a piece of shit minivan valve. I'm losing tons and tons and tons of power there. And I'm also creating heat and turbulence, which are all bad for fucking horsepower. Next thing that I spent a lot of money on. Well, actually, no, I didn't. They were cheap. You're not looking, yes, now you're looking at 4 injector dynamics, 1050cc, completely fucking balanced injectors. This engine, when idling in closed loop, in open loop, fucking idles like a dream. When it's in open loop, it sucks because I am learning how to tune. This I did not spend, I made this and I had it welded. My buddy tried to help me and he did all right. But this was cost me $50. The research, however, was not free. This has got the correct volume, and also you see these fucking end tanks. These are very important because with the stock piece of shit that came on there that is only this wide and comes in at this weird fucking angle bullshit, didn't flow worth a damn. This performs better, and these 2 holes need to be fixed than the stock one by margins because it's the correct volume. This is about double the volume, figure it out yourself, double the volume, and I used a 2-liter soda bottle to check the volume, and some tape of the engine. Alright, there's some math. You do your fucking math on your ports, and you do your math on your fucking injectors, and you do your math on your fucking plenum, and you build a super duper header, which we don't have any of that shit here, because it's all in my trunk. I'm about to make a fucking header. You will make fuck tons of... Are you ready for this? Availability for power. Because there's only there's one way you can increase horsepower. To burn more oxygen. That's right. To burn more fucking oxygen. You will unlock the potential of your high compression and big carburetor or your big fucking injectors by making the air pump more efficient and smooth. You will not make more power. You're trying to, the H-rods and shit like that, you're just trying to prevent the motor from rattling itself apart. The secret is this, and this, and this. So the injectors, the fucking turbo, and the exhaust, and the computer. Those are what are gonna make you big fucking power. The Elite 1500, it's fucking amazing in the hands of the right guy, which is not me. this motherfucker right here, it can provide me with probably over 1,000 horsepower. I have not seen the limits of the capability of this ECU yet in the hands of other users. Me, I'm just trying to get it to idle, right? Okay, in closed loop. But let me tell you what, when I hit the throttle, seeing as there's an automatic calibration for that knock sensor, I safely took this engine up to higher than most people ever see their fucking Esprit get to. And we are just starting the fucking tune. Alright? You can waste your money on all the other shit. Buy Chinese fucking knockoff coils from a reputable supplier. You'll be fine. Fucking buy cheap fucking air cleaners. You'll be fine. Buy cheap fucking... Oh, this is Appman, so this is good quality, but it's cheap. Buy a cheap charge cooler. Buy cheap fucking piping. What's gonna happen? You're gonna blow a fucking pipe? Oh well. Buy cheap fucking hoses, okay? But another thing you do not fuck with is oil unless you do your research, because obviously my bearings aren't scored. And you don't fuck with hoses. This is actually the cooler hose. This does not go to the oil system, I promise. The other hose is up under the frame. We're not doing that in these close. My push lock came off, and it wasn't supposed to. They make clamps for that. I had this side not clamped because you're not supposed to clamp them. It's properly installed. I know I did it myself, but when I examined the hose and I noticed this on my turbo cooler, maybe you can see it. Oh yeah, look. It's cracking. It's fucking coming apart. And here it's deforming and cracking, and this engine's got 100 miles on it. Don't fuck with your oil system. If you can get hoses made, which I can't, I have to make those push locks work, or figure something else out with just different hose. Another thing you can be cheap with is fucking gaskets. If your gaskets are $1 million bajillion dollars, which my oil pump gaskets are, you can cut them out yourself. Hand cut gasket. Has nothing to do with it freezing up. It has everything to do with having zero fucking oil pressure, and this being a fucking journal bearing, which I hate the shit out of. Had this been a full ball roller, I would have went my ass to 7-Eleven, and I actually probably would have attempted to get on it. The Heltec does indeed have level 2 protection enabled. I would have noticed right away I couldn't get any power, and I would have cut the fucking unit. So, this video is already 18 minutes long. I'm not sure if I'm going to upload it, but I hope there was some entertainment. You know, I think I might do another video straight away, because I really want to talk about the ports.